Oh, wow. I just want to dance.
That new music
that
is
new intro music coming there.
stellar.
It is
very
stellar.
it's very hockey-esque.
It's very hockey-esque.
It's reminiscent of the old Hockey Night in Canada.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. Yeah, it is kind of similar.
It's got the same kind of feel
zing,
to it. Yeah,
zing there. All right.
Yeah,
Well, here we
absolutely.
are, and it's game day, and my friend Jay Peckham joining me here. We got lots to talk about. There's some interesting things happening. Let's go back over the past week first, though, and discuss. Well, I said losses, and you're like, they're not losses.
There's no losses.
Growth opportunities.
Yes. That's
growth, learning opportunities. Right. Okay.
Let's just not have too many growth opportunities.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, do that at practice, will you?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All kidding aside, Sarnia Sting having a hard time, though. We go back to last week while we were here. Windsor came in the house and really gave us a hard time. We did end up, our typical third period got us better.
Yeah.
And then, actually, Mississauga and Sarnia Sting was a good game. They lost 3-2.
Yeah.
But the pieces that I saw of it, and then others that I know that did say this, had a great first and second period.
Yeah.
Just couldn't close the deal there. Did you see any of that at all?
I did, actually.
What were your thoughts there?
Well, you know what? I mean, what I saw, honestly, was we just played hard. You know what? It could be one of those, we just came up to a hot goalie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is that, we outshot them. We were playing a lot in their end zone. In the offensive zone and stuff like that.
Okay.
And we were doing a lot of the right things. We just, some of it was, again, we got hot goalies. So when you've got that happening, sometimes it's just hard you got to solve it, right? Like, you got to figure out, all right. It's just one of those things. I don't think necessarily our play is what caused that downfall.
All right. And then, of course, this past Wednesday, Flint, who's in the house again tonight, looking to double it up, took us out there, and here we are again.
Well, and Flint, Flint is interesting because they have sort of a nothing to lose kind of approach to stuff right now, I think. They're not doing so great in the division, and we should have been able to beat Flint, but I mean, oh my goodness, I just, it was a hard go.
We'll see what happens here tonight. Well, we've got some interesting lineups happening here. We've got things have changed up. It'll be Burke, Limper, Lance, and Boyce, whereas we saw Nemesnikov on that line.
I like that. I'm okay with that because, Berkey, I always talk about having that set-up man.
Yep.
And Nolan Burke is not only just a good setup man, but he's also very capable of reaching the back of the net, which is awesome.
All right.
So Limper Lance, I think he's a good addition to that group. So
all right.
Be interested to see how they do.
McDonnell, sorry.
Yeah.
Wainwright and Phil Manis.
You know what? That's an interesting grouping because McDonnell. I mean, I got to tell you, I really like this kid. I've said that many times, and he's been showing it. Like, he is a persistent player that is capable of scoring some goals.
Yep.
I think he's going to tally a few for us in the long run, and so I'm going to. And Easton Wainwright, I mean, I'm a big fan too.
Yeah.
Again,
he's showed up many times for us.
He's another hard player that just kind of keeps pushing past the whistle, and I think so that I think that's going to be our little engine that could grouping, right?
Okay, and then we got Nemesnikov, Sekic, and Martone, and then I'm going to push quickly forward to Felak Way, Cooper Way now here, of course.
New guy,
and Harper. Thoughts there? I guess. Well, it's hard to say with
well,
Way,
I think Felak brings.
there, right?
I think Felak brings some experience to that. I don't know enough about our new guy. Well, I'd be interested to see how well he does today. Who was the third one on that one? Was Harper.
Harper,
And you know what? Austin Harper, he's I think he's a heck of a player. I think he just needs some seasoning and stuff like that. It was nice to see him get a little more play.
So, of course, Cooper Way coming to us from the Oshawa Generals, and so long to Ryder McIntyre. Thanks to Ryder McIntyre.
Yeah, thanks to Ryder McIntyre.
This Cooper Way comes in. He's 19 years old. He's like 181, 182 pounds, 6'2".
Yeah.
And Ryder McIntyre, similar. He was 18.
Yep, similar size.
Similar size and build. So, but not really showing. Not showing any goals and not a ton of points for Cooper Way. But
I think.
But it's early.
Yeah, but I think you know what? I think the one sort of element that was missing on our team, just because of the way things have worked out over the last season or two, but we had a very young team. Without a huge amount of experience, coming to the table, and I think this is an opportunity for us to put somebody in there that's got maybe a little more seasoning, that might be able to kind of show us the way a little. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're thinking.
It's always interesting.
It's hard to say.
Well, they obviously know something we don't. I guess, right? They see something we haven't seen yet. But tonight against the Flint Firebirds, we're coming in against them, and so obviously they're hot.
Yep.
And we're hot under the collar.
Yeah, fair
right?
enough.
So we'll see. We'll talk about that a little bit more.
Sometimes, and honestly, Dave, sometimes you put somebody in a new environment and they flourish.
Right.
I mean, how many former Sting
Our
players have gone?
Have an effect, right?
Exactly. How many former Sting players have gone to other teams and just done
better
phenomenal
than they did
things,
for us,
but
right?
better than they did for us. And we don't like that, but whatever.
Yeah.
Good for them for doing that, right? So sometimes just a little change of venue and away you go.
U17 challenge is coming up in November.
Sure.
November 3rd to November 12th, and
Porter Martone
has been selected to be a part of that challenge.
Yeah,
right?
that's awesome. I think I've said a couple of times this season. I like Porter Martone. He's he's one of our bigger boys, and I think once he gets some real seasoning, I think he's going to play strong, and he's already proven here that he can play like that. So, I'm excited to see what he does.
And he was helpful against Flint in an assist.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's a kind of a player to watch here tonight as well.
I think so.
On top of really two players, I guess we're looking at is Porter Martone and then this Cooper Way to see what kind of results. They're obviously ready to play him. He's on the lineup, so high expectations have already been set there. We've got something else I want to talk about and share that's important, but let's talk about Hoover for just a moment. Of course, he was off from a head check and a 3-game suspension.
Yeah.
Did you think that was a fair call?
I want to say, yeah. Based on what I saw, I would say it was probably a reasonably fair call.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't want to put too fine a point on it. The truth is, this is a physical game, and at this level, the intensity's turned up a little bit. And if you're going to be out there, you have to protect yourself
for sure
in every situation. And I think that the one point we don't talk about that, yes, it was not a great hit, but Buddy had his head down and was, he was not protecting himself at the time. And, you can't put all of that necessarily on Hoover for making that hit. If he had had his head up and stuff like that, it might have been a cleaner hit.
Is there a message that the referees or maybe the OHL is sending out? Because if we go back a couple of years minus the pan, we've seen a lot of changes in
for sure
calls because of head checks and other things as well. And maybe they're starting this off right away. They're going, hey, not doing that at all. Careful. I don't know.
You know what? And again,
3 games is a lot, right?
I'm not. Yeah, no, it's not a huge amount, but whatever. I mean, he was due. He was due for that.
He'd been aggressive out there several times for the Sarnia Sting.
Sure.
Let's be fair to what it is.
And when
he kept going, and then did he cross the line?
And when Benny got run over, that guy got an additional 4 games. So, I don't think I'm not going to blame that one on the refs. I think definitely he deserved what he got for that.
Wait a minute.
For that hit.
Wait a minute.
What?
I'm not going to blame that one on the refs.
No.
You heard it here first, folks.
Well, let me just qualify too, because I make no bones about it. I mean, I've said this many times before, is that one of the refs' job is to keep control of the game and to protect our players and the other players from danger and difficult situations like that.
Sure. You have said
so, you know what? And so making that call against Hoover was right. And, even the 3 additional games, I'll buy that. You know what? Maybe they're trying to send a message, and good for them for sending that message.
All right.
That, safety is paramount.
Okay. I feel
that's a good message.
It's almost like you practiced those, like you were thinking about this.
You know what? I think about hockey all the time.
I know you do.
I do 100%.
You were thinking about that. You probably didn't. I asked you last time to put together your lineup of players.
Yeah.
But
I haven't had a chance to do that.
Probably something like a job got in the way, or I don't know.
No, I've actually I was away for the last 2 days.
Oh,
we went to Stratford.
Very nice.
It was awesome. Chicago at the festival.
Yeah,
theater.
My sister and her husband were there as well. I saw pictures of it, and I was like, I didn't get invited to go.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, brother.
No, I met my sister.
Oh, yeah. Silly sister. What are you doing?
Right? Come on.
Come on.
It was their anniversary, actually. So to my sister and my brother-in-law, happy anniversary to you.
Absolutely. And a shout-out to Fellini's. If you ever get a chance, go to Fellini's.
I've heard that
restaurant.
from others, too.
Oh, my goodness.
Just
best Italian food.
Right on. Okay.
Absolutely.
Sounds like date night for Jay and Dave.
100%. 100%.
We have a lot of heroes in our communities and a lot of heroes here on the teams, but the Sarnia Sting want to recognize heroes in our communities. They did this last year. Who do you know who's a community hero? This is a Kubota Community Hero nominations, I guess.
Can I nominate you?
Sure you can.
Perfect.
Right on. Nominate me. I don't care.
You're my hero.
The person who gets chosen by Kubota and the Sarnia Sting will get $25,000 donated to their charity of choice.
I love that.
And that is just another way that Sarnia Sting and their sponsors like Kubota get together and give back into this community. They did it last year.
It's outstanding because that's a significant amount of money.
Oh, my goodness, especially coming out of the pandemic.
Yep.
You work for an organization too that relies on a lot of that.
Yes, we do.
And some are still struggling to maintain or get their head back above water after those effects of it. So you can go
absolutely.
to, look, I got a thing here.
A thing?
I made it all up and everything. There we go. Nominate by going to Kubota.ca Community Hero and answer a few questions about your community hero, and we'll have updates on that. There's a deadline coming up very quickly. I don't know what it is, but you want to be sure to check on that. I think we're in for different hockey than what we've seen, and I'm not just saying like hopefully we do because we've been losing. I just think because of the lineup changes, especially with Way and who was the other one I was going to say? Way and I forget now. I had a plan.
You did?
I did.
And it just went right off the rails.
But the new players out there, right? And a new lineup changes there.
I agree.
Obviously, there's a change coming. So does that mean we're going to see a little different strategy? Probably likely. Yeah.
Well, I would hope so. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say because, we've been watching the Sting for a few years now.
Boy, have I learned a lot.
And absolutely. And I think the central strategy really probably has not changed significantly in that time. Some of the mechanisms and systems in place may have changed a little bit, but for the most part, I think we are a sort of back to basics, fundamentals type
we talked about this
hockey club, and that seems to work for us.
And we're kind of young.
And we're young, so I think there's that that we have that speed thing going for us because we got the times that we've really done really well, we've driven that pace, the pace of the game way up, I'd like to see more and more of that because I think that's what it's going to take to win some hockey games for sure.
For sure. Ben Gaudreau starting again tonight for the Sarnia Sting. Of course,
good.
Very reliable goalie. He had kind of a rough start, actually.
He did, yeah.
And it was like, ugh. But
and we're not doing him any favors either. Sometimes I think defensively, we need our defensemen to really sort of step into place and do a little stronger job in that area.
Fair enough. Post-game press conference will also happen tonight after the game, and you never know what's going to happen there. You can go to Facebook on the Sarnia Sting page and ask your questions. If you're connected to me on Facebook, message me and send me your questions, and I will do my best to ask the players or the coaches your questions. What do you want to know? Jay Peckham did it. We asked when you're down, you're in the locker room. The question was asked, what's the message between you and the other players and the coach? And they answered it. Max Nemesnikov and Ryan Mass last time, so that was great. All right, we're going to let Jay get to his seats, and we're going to let you go to your television if you're watching, wherever you're watching. Don't forget to come back here with intermission period updates. I'm excited for this game, Jay. I really am excited for this game. Right on. Okay, for the Sarnia Sting, I'm David Burrows with my friend Jay Peckham.
Go Sting, go!